Magandang hapon po sa atin lahat, sa mga kababayan natin sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao at mga kababayan nating OFW sa buong mundo. We continue to pray for all of you and we continue to work to resolve yung present day challenges. Let me start po with a verse that tells us that we die because of lack of knowledge. Nasa Bible po yan. And although ang context nun is that how can you have eternal life kung hindi mo alam ang Diyos o kilala ang Diyos o ang salita ng Diyos? You can apply this verse to everyday life, di ba? But siguro yung iba ang sasabihin anong difference ng knowledge at saka wisdom. A simple Google search will tell you that knowledge is more of the information o yung facts. But yung wisdom is yung how do you apply that knowledge or apply that information to make good decisions or yung judgment, no? So that's what I want to talk about today in relation to yung bayanihan to heal as one law in relation to defeating COVID-19, no? So remember po sa batas may oversight committee at bubuuin namin yan soon. Pero to support the committee, ang gagawin po natin, lahat ng existing committees ng Kongreso with consultation with our members will be the subcommittees ng Defeat COVID-19 Committee para makapasok lahat ng input sa iba-ibang aspeto, sa economic, sa health, sa peace and order. So, let me give you a background. When we were called in last Saturday sa Malacanang, dun muna sa nagtatanong, opo, naka-self-quarantine po kami ni Congresswoman Lani, praying na mapagtyagaan niya ako for 14 days. Medyo totoong nainip po kami at gusto namin lumabas at gusto po namin tumulong. But our first duty parate is wag makahawa sa iba. So since we were exposed dahil may isang hardworking na kongresista na nag-test positive na nakasama namin both Saturday and halos 24 hours Monday or maybe mga 16 hours Monday na una na umuwi ng konti sa amin. So susunod kami kaya halos kaming dalawa lang ni Lani ang magkasama for 14 days, no? So but that doesn't mean that we cannot work and nagpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng kongresista, lalo kay Deputy Speaker El Rey, kay Secgen Joel at Deputy Secgen Brian na kausap ko daily. At of course kay Mayor Lino dito sa Taguig and kay Lani, no? So going back, before we got called in nung Saturday, sinabi na syempre sa amin yung topic na naghahanap ang gobyerno ng mahigit 200 billion para dun sa 18 million families na magkaroon ng 5 to 8,000 pesos per month. So that's 200 billion. And then 75 to more para dun sa ibang mga kailangan ng gobyerno, kasama dyan yung PPEs, yung testing kits, yung preparasyon ng gobyerno. And let me make it clear, the objective was to find the money for the immediate necessities. So kung ano ang kailangan na ngayon, ma-identify yung pera at magamit sa tamang programa, pero hindi maapektuhan ang overall economic situation natin at yung fiscal position natin. So there is life after corona, the new coronavirus or COVID-19. Ako naniniwala dyan. Ako naniniwalang maganda plano ng Diyos. Dumadaan tayo sa pagsubok, no? But may life after this. So the economic managers have to focus on the immediate relief na kailangan natin, pero make sure then that after this, hindi rin naman mamatay sa gutom o mawalan ng trabaho ang ating mga kababayan, no? So, ang discussions namin doon, more of na habang yung batas ipapasa ng last Monday, sila ina-identify na nila saan makukuha yung pera. So, for example, they were saying may mga GOCCs na almost until 100 billion makukuha at magagamit, no? And then sa national government, sa GAA, another 100 billion, and then we went up to 275 billion. So kami naman, tandaan nyo po, maraming mga kongresista, naging governor, naging mayor, naging barangay captain. Ako po, nagsimula ako sa konsehal. And remember, we do work with governors, mayors, aside from the cabinet. So we wanted to share our knowledge sa distribution. So even nung Saturday before that, I shared actually yung Taguig model. And that's the two things I want to talk to you about today. No? Yung one, yung distribution. Tanggalin natin mga technicalities. Sino at paano makuha po yung tulong ng gobyerno. Secondly po, yung pong communication. No? So distribution and communications. No? So sa distribution po muna, sinimplify po ni Secretary Abisado at Secretary Sani Dominguez po, no? If you have almost 25 million Filipino families or 24 million plus, no? The 6.6 million po dyan ay nasa formal sector. Ibig po sabihin yan yung may trabaho, nagbabayad po ng personal or business na income tax, may SSS po yan, may GSIS. So, unang-una po, you're not supposed to lay off people, no? So, may sweldo pa rin dapat and may mga savings din yan. So, iba ang programa sa kanila and we're working with the companies at papasok dyan mamaya yung economic stimulus plan para dyan. Pero paano po yung part po ng ekonomiya na either self-employed, walang trabaho, or no work, no pay, no? So, 18 million Filipinos dito po papasok. 18 million Filipino families po. 18 million Filipino families, no? So, sa 4.4 million families that napapaloob sa unconditional cash transfer, conditional cash transfer, wala pong problema kasi itatop up lang yan, no? O kumbaga sa cellphone, ilo-load lang. So, yung 5 to 8,000 pesos po, idadagdag sa present manner ng distribution dun sa 4.4 million families na under conditional cash transfer. So dun po sa 13.6 million na hindi under conditional cash transfer, maraming question dyan kung paano ipaabot sa kanila. So ang sinuggest po namin ay house to house, isa-isahin. Bakit po? Kasi traditionally, paano ba nag-ano ng relief? Bibigyan mo ng stub o ng papel, di ba? Na may number o may pangalan yung pamilya. And then ipatatawag sa isang public place na gym at dun i-distribute, no? So in the traditional way, unang-una, may malalaking crowd. And naka-community quarantine nga tayo eh. So the less people na magkita-kita and kung pwede nga, walang bagong tao pumasok sa mga barangay, the better for the health situation. So, ibabalanse natin both the health situation and the challenges to keep us healthy by quarantine, and ibabalanse natin din yung economic relief na kailangan para may makain naman ang mga tao at may pambili ng gamot, no? So, yung house-to-house model, meron kang representatives. Unang-una may pulis na kasama kasi yan po ay pera. So, daan-libo, milyon din po ang dala niyan. Okay. Secondly po, yung LGU. Kasi yan po ang magiging katuwang, maging DSWD, DOLE, o kung ano man mga sa gobyerno, yung LGU. When I say LGU, pwedeng the city, municipality, or the provincial government. So, third yung barangay. So, although LGU din barangay, siya naman yung nandun sa lugar. Yung fourth representative na amin pong pinopropose, yung pong either Homeowners Association or yung Urban Poor Association o kung sino man NGO mismo dun sa lugar, no? And fifth, kung gusto magpadala ng representative yung kongresista para ma-assure nga na bawat pamilya sa kanilang lugar ay nabibigyan, this way, walang mistrust with each other, no? So we want to address three things. Una, speed. Paano ba pinakamabilis na makakarating sa inyo ang resources? Number two, we want to address safety or health. What's the least contact possible para nga hindi magkahawaan or we don't introduce a new person into a quarantined area. And number three, how do we address mistrust? Yung pong merong hindi nabigyan o kaya akala ninakaw o kaya hindi sigurado dun sa amount, no? So although again, knowledge, dapat maipost kung paano to gagawin at kung magkano ibibigay per region. That will go into the communication. I'll focus muna sa distribution. So dun sa team na sinabi ko, yung limang tao lang yon. So for example, no, Metro Manila, let's say Quezon City, Manila, San Juan, Taguig. So let's say pera ng DSWD at 8,000 per family. So kung sasabihin mo, let's say sa Taguig there are 200,000 families, and of the 200,000 family, 150,000 yan ay part ng 18 million families. So ang ibibigay sa amin ay 150,000 times 8,000, 'di ba, pesos. So pag turnover niyan, isa lang ang magte-turnover sa City Hall, for example, no? Whether Quezon City yan, Davao City, whether it's the capital in the Cordilleras or it's in Baguio City. So pagbigay sa inyo, ibibigay nyo yan dun sa rep ng barangay na taga LGU nyo, na taga ron sa barangay na yon. So for example, ako nasa barangay Bagong Bayan ako. So meron rep ang city, may rep ang barangay, may rep yung urban poor namin dito, may rep po ang kongresista, may rep po ang may pulis o militar na kasama. So ang mangyayari yan